So after a 2-9 start to the season this year, the Milwaukee Bucks looked like they were ahead of some dark days for their franchise. Giannis Antetokounmpo, his trade rumors started to heat up. The downfall of Damian Lillard looked pretty more real than we have ever seen. And it totally looked like the Milwaukee Bucks were going to be a first-round exit at best. But over the last 15 games, they have went 12-3, and after winning the NBA Cup, I have seen some conversations on Twitter, on YouTube, about the Milwaukee Bucks, and I have to put my 2 cents in. There are plenty of things that I find intriguing for this Milwaukee Bucks team that I just feel as though I have to speak on, and kind of their ceiling when it comes to this team in this season. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be talking about the recent success of the Milwaukee Bucks of the last 15 games and how they won the NBA Cup tournament. So sit back, relax, grab some snacks. Shout out to Corey X. Kenshin, and let's talk basketball. I truly have to find a better intro. Sit back, relax, grab some snacks. That's from the #1 Shogun himself. And since we're talking about the Milwaukee Bucks and how they've played as of recently, over the last 15 games, the Milwaukee Bucks have been a top 10 offense and a top 10 defense. They are number 10 in offensive rating and number 8 in defensive rating. And there are only two other teams in the NBA that is doing that over the past 15 games, and that is the Oklahoma City Thunder and the Memphis Grizzlies. And I think a lot of it has to do with the starting of Andre Jackson, of course, Giannis Antetokounmpo playing more or better defense than he did last season. And I'm not going to sit here and say that Giannis Antetokounmpo is the same defender he was in 2019 or 2020 or 2021, because I do not believe that is true. But the level of help side rim protection, the rim protection, being able to be disruptive on the perimeter, I think all of that has been better than it was last season. And I think a lot of it has to do with Giannis having to do a little bit too much defensively before the Andre Jackson rotation change. Just being able to really account for people getting blown by, people being late on rotations. Damian Lillard has been locked in more on defensive. Now, I'm not saying that is better or he is a good defender now, but just him being more locked in on the defensive side helps out a lot. And over the last 15 games, Giannis Antetokounmpo is averaging 33 points, 12 rebounds, and 7 assists. And I've touched on this on the Hoop Talk podcast. Giannis Antetokounmpo has been the best he has ever been offensively. You add the rim dominance that he has from 0 to 3 feet, that is always going to be phenomenal. But now you add in a touch of a mid-range shot. He's been extremely efficient from there. And also being a playmaker in these positions where guys double him or guys really send a load of players to the rim to try and protect it. Giannis is finding himself making the better decision time in and time out to get open threes for guys like Taurean Prince, AJ Green, Gary Trent Jr., and Damian Lillard, who have all been shooting the ball very well as of recently. And bringing up the fact that Taurean Prince, AJ Green, and Damian Lillard are shooting so well on top of Giannis being able to collapse the defense as much as he does, you can say that the Bucks are one of the better three-point shooting teams in the league. Over the past 15 games, the Bucks are shooting the tied best three-point percentage in the NBA at 40.9 on shooting about 38 three-pointers a game. And Giannis has just become such a better playmaker in these situations to where you can count on the Bucks getting open shots night in and night out just because of the gravity that Giannis has around the rim. Okay, so now it's time to talk about the NBA Cup. Now, I think the Milwaukee Bucks did a fantastic job of defending the rim in the second half. From, I think, 0 to 9 feet, the Oklahoma City Thunder shot 4 for 18 in the second half, which was obviously not good at all. And you add that on top of them not being able to make any threes. I think they made 5 3-pointers last night when the Bucks made 17. So that's obviously a big swing there. That would be the difference of 36 points. And the Milwaukee Bucks have the Cleveland Cavaliers on Friday. So after beating the Oklahoma City Thunder last night, it adds on top of the fact that if they can go and beat the Cleveland Cavaliers, we can look at this Bucks team really differently. And with the way Giannis has been playing as of recently, the way he's able to control the game and play at his pace and be so dominant around the rim, no matter who you put in front of him, that's going to give them an edge every single night. And if this defense is real from the Milwaukee Bucks, they can climb the standings pretty quickly. And I also want to say Damian Lillard is having one of the better seasons of his career. And I know the numbers may not support it. I mean, he's still averaging 25 points per game and that's still phenomenal as well. But he's been extremely efficient. So far, Damian Lillard is having one of his most efficient seasons at about shooting 62% true shooting. And just the way he's been able to be a complimentary shooter when Giannis does collapse defenses, that's been phenomenal. The way he's been able to get to the rim, the way he's been able to play make, and he's been locked in more defensively, like I said earlier in this video. It's not the best defense. It's not great defense. It may not even be good defense. But the fact that he is more active with his hands, he's playing passing lanes more, and he's swiping down on the ball when he's guarding bigger defenders. All that matters. With a team like the Milwaukee Bucks who love to see their leaders play defense, that means a lot. And there's still going to be moments like when they last played the Celtics. They were just consistently hunting Damian Lillard. And that doesn't mean Damian Lillard was playing bad defensively. It just necessarily means that he's the worst defender on the floor. So Damian Lillard has still not been good defensively, but the fact that the effort is there more, that's something we love to see. Now, as for the title of the video, what is the best case scenario for this Milwaukee Bucks team? Now, I think in the Eastern Conference, the Bucks can win a playoff series or maybe two. I don't want to really overanalyze this Milwaukee Bucks team because we're going to get this a lot this NBA season. The Sixers are going to go on a run. It's almost inevitable. The Bucks are going on their run as of right now. The Lakers went on a run earlier this season. The Nuggets are going to go on a run. The Kings are going to go on a run. All these teams that may have struggled in the beginning of the season, they're going to go on their run. And some of the views of these teams are going to be changed. Now, some of them may be real. I think this Bucks change may be real to the point where they can win a playoff series or two. I think if Jamal Murray decides to get back in the game and play better, I think that Nuggets run can be real. I think the 76ers could make a pretty real run. But I think this Milwaukee Bucks team is playing the way we would have expected them to at the beginning of the season. The reason people are acting so shocked and people are acting is in disbelief and starting to rank them somewhere they probably should not be is because they started out the season so bad. I think coming into the season, the Milwaukee Bucks' ceiling was Eastern Conference Finals. And now that they're playing this way, they've kind of gotten back into that trajectory or of that area of conversation. And now it's like, oh, okay, now they're playing a lot better. And we forget that they were really bad to start the season. So if you guys understand what I'm saying, I think you guys are forgetting the fact that they played bad to start the season. So now you think they're playing better than where we already had them projected. I still think there is a world where they can lose to the Boston Celtics. I mean, I think that's almost certain. I think they can lose to the Boston Celtics in a 7-game series. I think there is a world they can lose to the Cleveland Cavaliers in a 7-game series. Because Donovan Mitchell is such a perimeter force offensively, I don't think they have the defense to combat that for a 7-game series. And I also think the Cavaliers, with running that double big lineup with two above average defenders in Evan Mobley and Jared Allen, some of the better defenders in the NBA, I think they're going to be able to cause havoc in the paint. Now, will that be against Giannis? Maybe not. But it's going to be a lot harder for guys like Damian Lillard, guys like Taurean Prince, AJ Green, Brook Lopez to really finish around the rim. So now you're going to be leaning on these three-pointers a lot. But one edge that the Bucks have is talent-wise, they have a top 5 duo in the NBA for sure. And that's just a duo that a lot of teams may not have. The Cavs have a very good roster. They do not have a duo as good as Giannis and Dame. The 76ers they are pretty close to a duo of Giannis and Dame. The Orlando Magic do not have that. The New York Knicks do not have that. So that's something that's going to give me the edge for the Milwaukee Bucks when they go into a playoff series against a team like Orlando or maybe Miami or Atlanta or a New York Knicks team. That's going to give me the edge as much as possibly. That's going to give me the edge as much as it possibly can. I'm trying to one-take this video as much as I possibly can. Bear with me. And then when I see them in a playoff series against a team like New York, their defense, the New York Knicks defense, is what's really concerning. I think Damian Lillard can hunt Jalen Brunson. I think Mikal Bridges has been extremely overrated defensively. And I think Karl-Anthony Towns around the rim having to deal with Giannis Antetokounmpo religiously attacking him, play in and play out on top of Karl-Anthony Towns' foul trouble, that's pretty scary. So all in all, I think the Milwaukee Bucks are back to that level of conversation they can get to an Eastern Conference Finals, but I think winning a championship or going to the NBA Finals is pretty much out of the conversation. And I hate to be that guy because I know there's going to be people that are going to be like, you're hating on the Bucks and Giannis did that and Giannis might be the best player in the world. I know those conversations are coming, but you have to look at the team if what we looked at them before the season started. And I think the reason that we're starting to put them in some of these best in the world conversations is because they started out so poorly. And now we're starting to believe that they're playing a tier above what we predicted them to be when the season started. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is what happens when I don't take notes and I'm just going off of basically what I watched. I was kind of all over the place in this video, but I kind of hope you guys got a feel of where I'm coming from and what I was trying to explain. And as for the Oklahoma City Thunder, I think their missing of Chet Holmgren was really evident in this game. I think they could have played the double big lineup that they worked so hard to get this offseason, and not having Chet Holmgren really hindered that. On top of that, they missed a lot of threes, and we see that a lot in regular season games. Whoever has the shooting edge, 7 times out of 10 wins the game. I mean, we see that with the Denver Nuggets all the time. The Denver Nuggets don't take a lot of threes. So if they lose the shooting battle by more than 4 or 5, they're probably going to lose the game. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me know what you guys think of the Milwaukee Bucks this season. Do you guys think they can make it to an Eastern Conference Finals? Do you still think they're overrated? Do you trust Doc Rivers and Darvin Ham to carry a team out through a playoff series? Let me know in the comment section. And if you guys like this type of content, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And I'm out. Peace.